It's Wednesday, September 27th here at the West End Gun Club. Got here a little early, around 5:45 on my day off from work, because I'm out here to do a run through of the October 2023 NRL22 Course of Fire. Did a little bit of setup and target cleanup since the last match from this past Sunday. It was pretty dark when I got here. Sunrise around 6:30. It's a nice sunrise this morning. And you can barely see it though. Right now the light's coming out because we're in a canyon, of course. But in any case, got some targets set up, just been doing a little bit of maintenance, and we're about to go ahead and go through the Course of Fire once I get a few of the targets set up. Anyway, let's go ahead and get things going, and we'll do the run through. Before we get things started off this morning, I want to point out something that I noticed in the past match. When my squad went to the KYL stage, we were the last ones to shoot, and I noticed that there were some hits on the KYL targets above the thin portion of the stem. So we have the bottom of the target of the KYL targets are where you're supposed to be shooting, but now I'm seeing hits near the top. And this has been kind of an issue with some people shooting at the 1/4 inch KYL near the top where the target meets the hanger, which is a wide section. And unknowing people will call that a hit. And I was a little disconcerted to see this, and at first I thought it's possible that somebody left their 100-yard dope on when they shot that KYL target, because I think technically with the way we were moving our squads, you would have shot the 100-yard target before that. So that's a possibility. I believe it's probably a 5 to 6 inch drop, if I'm not mistaken, between 50 and 100 yards for 22. And that would account for that. However, I feel like it would be necessary in the future match and other matches to point out that, hey, if there is a hit above that line, it's going to be a warning. But if it happens continuously, like above this, like close to the top, not above the line, but up to the top of the target, it'll be a DQ for the stage, if not a match DQ, because that's technically cheating. I know some people I've heard stories of people shooting that top of that 1/4 inch KYL target to get a hit when they couldn't hit the 1/4 inch section. And so we'll have to make people aware of that, and especially people behind glass spotting the targets, they need to keep an eye on that. So what I'm gonna do is probably repaint. We'll keep this top side red and maybe the bottom side a different color, like white or anything else, because it doesn't really matter at this point, because once you shoot it a few times, the paint wears away. So to keep this top section red so that you can immediately spot a hit, that'll be key. So we'll have to make that a thing in the future match briefs or match safety briefs. I put out a question on the NRL22 match directors group on Facebook asking about what people did about this, and people pointed out that, hey, that's cheating, etc. And really shouldn't have to do a match debrief. You shouldn't have to put that in the match briefing. People should know that as part of the rules. But I feel I should go ahead and just give people the benefit of the doubt. Say, hey, this is the intent of this KYL target. You can't shoot this section and expect to be scored a hit. And in matter of fact, you can't shoot this top section and expect that you're not going to get penalized for it. So we'll approach that in future matches. I'll work that into the safety brief for the pre-match kind of overview. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First stage we're going to run through is called Tank Trap Terror, 120-second part-time, 12 rounds. We have 2 banks of targets. We have a 1.5 inch on a single hanger at 60 yards, and a 2 inch and a 2.5 inch on a double hanger at 85 yards. No real restrictions here. This is a tank trap stage. You're going to start standing, rifle in all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, you will take any position on any tank trap tip and engage the targets from near to far, large to small, with 1 shot each, then move to a new position. All tank trap tips must be used as well as the center. You may pick any position order after shooting from the first tank trap tip. So I think what they're saying here is you can shoot off a tip first, then you can go center if you want, and then shoot any other tip. Or you can go tip, tip, center, tip, 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 center. It's all up to you, but you have to start off on a tank trap tip and then complete the stage shooting off the other 2 tips and the center in any order that you want. Pretty straightforward. Let's run through this. Missed the left. Interesting. Okay. Missed the right. Interesting. Little wobbly this morning. We're doing plenty on time here. Was I seated? I don't know. No, didn't get around. There it goes. Okay, 106.95. A little slow there. There really isn't much to say here. It's your standard tank trap stage. Just they're dictating the order. You have to start off on a tip, then you have to shoot the other 3 positions, the 2 tips in the center, but in whatever order you want. I elected to go, I think I went tip, 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 and then center. I think in retrospect, some people may want to go center second, simply to make sure that your wind call is good. Like I threw one to the left. Probably me, not the wind, but maybe if you were so inclined, you should drop down to the center, so you can get a really good position and decide, okay, let's go ahead and get a good clean break and make sure that the shot is impacting my point of aim. If not, then you know that you can adjust for the wind. Today's a little breezy. I don't know where it's coming from because of how this canyon swirls. Usually it's left or right, usually. So I was holding a little left, and maybe I held too much for that target, and that's why I swung it left. Also, I did all 3 tips and then a reload at the center. Whenever you do your center, that's probably when you should do your reload. So if you go tip first, then center, go ahead and I would probably do your reload before you shoot center, because what you're doing is moving positions, switching levels, because you're going from like kind of this bent over position, like leaning forward, and then you're dropping down to a kneeling position. Once you're changing levels, you're resetting your mindset, your body, your sight picture, everything. So go ahead and just take the time to do a reload and then shoot. Then you're changing levels again. And then you just don't have to worry about the mag reload because you're coming back up, which is easier. I guess technically easier than going down, I don't know. But that's my mentality behind it. However, I think shooting, if you don't need to worry about the wind call and trying to guess what the wind is based on a good position and clean break, I would just shoot all 3 tank traps tip first, and then go ahead and drop down, do your mag reload, and then, because you're changing levels, resetting yourself, then you can break those shots. So just approach it however you want. Those are just a couple ideas. But in any case, let's go ahead and move on to the next stage. Next stage we're going to run through is called Final Countdown. 1/22 part time, 10 rounds. We have 2 banks of targets. We have a 1.5 inch and a 2 inch on a double hanger at 70, then a 2.5 and a 3 inch on a double hanger at 100 yards. This is the bonus time stage, so if you finish extra time on the clock, get bonus points. You're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag and action open. On the start signal, you will take a prone supportive position and engage its targets in the following manner. Near, large, 1 shot. Near, small, 2 shots. Far, large, 3 shots. Far, small, 4 shots. So it's pretty straightforward. Basically, you're going to do large to small, but increase your shot count. So you're going to go near, large to small, 1, then 2. Then go far, 3, and 4. Pretty easy to remember. It's actually, I don't know, it's pretty straightforward. It should be a pretty simple stage. Let's run through it. My Class will dial that. This is a very simple stage. It's going to be a speed run pretty much. I finished with 50.07 seconds elapsed, and I could have saved a few seconds or shaved a few seconds off of my elapsed time if I didn't dial, because I did dial for 100, and I was waiting for the target to settle down before I shot. I think waiting for the target to settle down before you shoot is probably a good idea, because it would suck to miss on this simple stage where you're just prone. There's no real movement here. You're not switching sides, what shoulder you're shooting from. So it's a pretty easy stage. I can only imagine people will be shooting 40-second elapsed times on these ones, if not 30 seconds. But again, racing on this one and missing would be a bad thing. So go as fast as you think you can go, but just you don't want to miss, right? And so keep an eye on those targets if they're moving. Probably a good idea, especially on the 100 yards. If that small target's moving, you might want to wait for it to settle down. You may not want to dial. I think maybe saving 2 or 3 seconds without dialing, if you're good with your holdovers, that might be the way to go. And you could save a little bit more time. I may go ahead and just run through this one more time and see if I can just do a real speed run and see what it's like as far as how fast I can shoot it without missing. Oh, that was a miss. That was 37-13, but you missed. And I think I missed twice. I don't know. I missed one for sure. Next stage we're running through is called Curse of the Pyramid. 120-second part time, 10 rounds. We have 2 banks of targets. We have the full KYL rack, 1, 3/4, half, and quarter inch at 55 yards. And then we have a 3-inch on a single hanger at 100 yards. 10 points per back, 100 points possible. You're going to start standing, rifle in all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you will take a position on the NRL22 pyramid and engage the targets from 5 different positions in the following manner. Far, 1-inch KYL, move. So you're going to move to the next position. Far, 3/4 inch KYL, move to another position. Far, 1/2 inch KYL, move to another position. Far, 1/4 inch KYL, move to another position. And then far, 1/4 inch KYL. So basically, you're going to have 5 different positions where either left, middle, right counts as the position, and then also the different rungs. So basically, you're going to just pick a position, shoot 100, then KYL, 100 KYL, 100 KYL, 100, and just working your way down. Once you get down to the 1/4 inch, you're shooting the 1/4 inch twice. 2 different iterations. Pretty straightforward. For obvious reasons, I'm going to save the bottom rungs for the 1/4 inch KYL because I'm going to shoot prone from those positions. A prone or a quasi squatted prone because those will be the most stable for me. Anyway, let's see how this one goes. Oh, that's sliding. Targets are spaced apart. Miss.
I don't know why that one missed. Missing 100 yard for some reason. Oh, I think I know why. Probably because I'm holding too much. Ah, I missed that one. 3 hit misses.
This stage will probably be the most difficult for most people. I did run up against time on this one. I think I only had a few seconds left. In any case, I wasn't really comfortable when I was first shooting it. I did a couple of just practice shots after the fact, but I wasn't really good, and I think I found a better position for me to be in as far as getting a good kneeling and using my body, this big pillow to fill my body position or this gap. So I'm okay here. I don't know why I was missing the 100. I think I was holding over right too much. Shouldn't have been holding over at all, to be honest. And then the way I have the target set up, you have to swing left and right for the KYL, so that does throw you off and takes seconds off your clock. But I mean, if everyone's shooting in the same conditions, as everyone's on this level playing field, but I may line up the targets a little bit better because they are kind of spaced out. Other than that, I guess it's just simply being able to get a good stable position off of this pyramid, and you have to switch positions. You have to shoot from 5 different ones. Obviously, whatever you shoot the most stablest, you'll probably want to save that for the corners KYL targets positions, because that's a pretty small target to shoot at 55 yards. So hopefully you got a good wind call, break a good shot. Next stage we're running through is called Pan's Labyrinth. It's 120-second part, 10 rounds. We have 4 targets. So we have 2 1-inch targets at 50 yards on individual single hangers, and they're going to be spaced about 10 yards apart. We have a 2-inch on a double hanger at 67 and a 3-inch on a double hanger at 100 yards. No real restrictions here, and we're shooting off a barrel, the 55-gallon barrel. You're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag and action open. On the start signal, you will take a position on the 55-gallon barrel and engage the targets with 1 shot in the following order: near right, near left, far, middle, near right, near left, far, middle, near right, near left. It's kind of weird how you're going to, I mean, it's a repeat, but in order to remember, just think 50-yard right, left, 100-yard, 67, 50-yard right, 50-yard left, 100-yard, 67, 50-yard right, 50-yard left. So it's pretty straightforward. Just start near and go far and come back on your way in. Should be pretty straightforward. However, it says we have to space them 10 yards apart. We don't have that capability on this range. So I've spaced them approximately 5 yards apart. That's just the way it's going to have to be for our range facility here at the West End Gun Club. But let's go and run through this stage and see how it goes.
Right near. Far. That's it. Pretty easy. 61.36 elapsed.
I'm going to be out of frame for most of this discussion, but this stage highlights the advantages of an open class rifle that's very versatile with a long forend and an arc rail full length. I ran a SkyPod during this stage, and they basically just ran as if I was on a glorified bench. Ran the bipod as close to the mag as I could have actually ran it closer a little bit, but I ran the bipod close to the mag well, and I utilized my bag underneath the pistol grip. And so I basically used this 55-gallon barrel surface as my surface or my tabletop or my bench rest. And I guess in theory I kind of cheated because I don't know if you want to call it cheating, but I use this divot in the top of the bottom of the barrel. I guess if we want to make this fair, I could have just done this. We'll just, for the sake of safety here, pull this off. Let's just say I didn't have that divot there, and we all have the same opportunity to slip off, right? So I still have plenty of room for my foot. The foot on my, it is sliding quite a bit. Rubber feet be better, but with these SkyPod spite feet, they are sliding. But just keep an eye on that as far as where I'm located, and I'm just trying to use the bag underneath the pistol grip, and that's where I use to adjust my elevation. And we are shooting at different angles here. We're shooting down to the ground and up to about 6 degrees. But it's pretty easy to just simply shift my rifle. It slides easily, and I can pan to the right, to the left, and then up and mid and keep going. So it's pretty simple. And all I'm doing is squeezing my bag accordingly to adjust the angle of my gun. And there's a bunch of bugs flying around. I wish the wind picked up. The wind earlier is good because the bugs didn't come out. But that's how I shot it. If you don't have full-length Arca rail and you're not going to shoot bipod, you can shoot in this manner and just shoot off your bag. And this will work can work for most people, depending on how well balanced your gun is, and just keep the gun angled, like balanced on there. My gun balances pretty well, and so I can just rest it here, take easy shots on the 50s, and then go back up. So I can shoot that way as well. But to quote unquote game the stage, I ran bipod. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next stage. Last stage of fire we're running through is called the Enfield Monster, 1/22 part-time, 10 rounds. We only have one single bank of targets at 70 yards. It's going to be the 1.5 and 2.5 inch on a double hanger. Restrictions are going to be one bag and your bipod only. And this will be a tripod stage. You're going to start standing, rifle in all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets, large to small, in the following order and manner. 2 shots each. Prone supported left side of the tripod. 1 shot each standing supported position on top of the tripod. 2 shots each prone supported right side of the tripod but support side. Support side means support eye, shoulder, and hand. Tripod height will be set. Tripod height will be 1 set by the MD. Height will be between 42 and 48 inches. Only exception to this is the short young guns or youth shooters. I have it set at 48 inches tall with measure from the ground to the clamp. And even if you're short like me, it will make a huge difference because we are shooting at up angles. So this will help most shooters, especially tall shooters, because you're going to be bent over less to shoot that upward angle, which is about 4 degrees. But let's go ahead and give this a whirl and see how it goes. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Oh well. Support side. Let's find that target. 2 shots each, support side. It's moving left to right. Gotta hold left. Wind caught me on that one though. Other than the fact that I threw one to the right due to wind, my impacts were hitting right of target, so I had to favor left. This was a fairly straightforward stage. I finished with 87 seconds elapsed, and pretty simple. I ran the game changer bag on top, made sure that's in place, and then I had my gamer plate on here just to give me a more stable position, but it also give me a little bit more height with that extra bag there, with the rail changer bag. So that gets me a little bit of height on here, so I can get a little bit more height, less bend on my body, and pretty good position. I did throw one right. Again, I think might have been favoring right a little bit, or I pulled it right, but I was still on, my point of aim was still on target, but the wind blew me off. It is what it is. Doesn't take away from the fact that this stage is relatively simple. You should be able to clean a stage. I mean, even novice shooters, it's simply a matter of prone, on tripod, standing, and then prone again, but support side. Now, a lot of people have problems with support side. I really don't know what else to tell you other than just practice it. I know a lot of people will try to shoot with, like if they're right-handed and they're shooting support side left eye, they'll use their right hand. Remember, you can't do that. You got to be using your left hand, or your non-primary hand to shoot this support side position. But it's pretty easy once you get used to it, especially in a prone position. It's not big of a deal. Anyway, that's it for this course of fire. Let's go and clean up, and we'll wind this down and get out of here. Overall, the NRL22 October 2023 course of fire is relatively simple. The pyramid stage is probably the most difficult, and you may drop some points there, but I think the other 4 stages, there's a good opportunity for most people to clean it. Beginners, not so much, but I think people who've shot a few matches, you have the opportunity to clean a few stages in this course of fire. So definitely, this is a course of fire to shoot, especially for a beginner. And as far as our next upcoming match, that's going to be October 22nd, if I recall correctly. It sounds kind of early, but I think October 1st, Friday is the 29th. So yeah, 29th, 30 Saturday is the 30th of September. So yeah, October 1st would be a Sunday, which explains why the 22nd would be the 4th Sunday of the month. So yeah, it sounds kind of early, but it is October 22nd. But definitely come on out if you're interested in shooting NRL22. I know we had a couple of observers at the last match, and I told them, hey, if you don't have a gun, we have the Tikka T1X as a loaner rifle. Just let me know in advance, and we can make that available for you if you come out. So it's open to everybody. So if you're wanting to try NRL22 but you don't have a rimfire gun suitable for this discipline or this course of fire, let me know in advance that you're going to sign up and show up, and then we'll have the loaner rifle available for you. I would let you shoot my Voodoo. The only reason I don't let people shoot my Voodoo is because it's heavy. It's like a 22-pound rifle. People won't be used to it, and there's potential for you to drop it, and so that would be a DQ if you drop the rifle. So definitely don't want people to struggle with my gun, given how heavy it is. But we do have the Tikka T1X loaner. I don't like to loan my 1022, which is a good rifle. I just don't want beginners to use a semi-auto. I'd rather people use a bolt rifle when they're new, just so they can understand and learn safety protocols and procedures of keeping the bolt open, when to close the bolt, open the bolt, how to move, etc. Semi-autos, there's a lot more opportunity for people to develop that habit. So anyway, that's it for this run through. If you have any other questions or comments about the run through or the course of fire, definitely comment in the comment section. I'd like to hear what you think about this course of fire. Anyway, that's it for today. September 27th here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.